Before we wrap up, I want to talk real quick just about some other policies of the class that aren't explicitly related to any type of assignment. First off, you're going to need a calculator that can do scientific notation. For exams, it needs to be a scientific calculator, not a graphing calculator, not a laptop, not a phone. You're welcome to use those when you're working on like homework in lab or anything like that, but I would encourage you to try to use the calculator you're going to use on the test when preparing, when working on homeworks and working through participation assignments, because that's going to help you prepare for actually doing the test. When you're doing the test, you're not going to have a laptop. And if you're using a laptop to work through all your homework and all the participation and everything, it's just not, it's going to be a new variable to figure out. So I would encourage you to get a calculator that you're going to use on the test and use that when working through participations, when working through labs, when doing stuff like that to help you prepare for taking the test where you're going to use that calculator. If you need help figuring out how to use your calculator, how to get scientific notation or anything, let me know. I can figure out I've seen a lot of calculators, I can probably figure it out, but I might not be able to, so maybe don't wait until the day of the test. The drop deadline is June 24th. That's the last day to not receive, you have to drop and not receive a grade. You'll get a W. I can't drop you from the class. You need to do it. If you stop completing assignments, you'll receive whatever grade you end up with if you're in the class after June 4th. If you have any questions about the drop deadline, I'll also bring it up as we get closer. Questions about dropping, or if you're ever concerned about your status in the class, kind of where you're standing, grade future possibilities, let me know and we can always chat about it. Finally, I expect the work you turn in to be your own, not that performed by another person or chatbot. You're going to work together on labs, but everyone should be turning in their own responses. You can work together on participation, homework, labs, but you should not all be turning in the same work and answers. You're really not learning when you're doing that. And the goal of this class is to see, can you do chemistry? And you might save time by going to a chatbot, having them do some work for you, but you're going to have to learn that stuff eventually, and you're just putting off that time, right? You're creating a debt. When you didn't spend time working on a homework assignment, didn't spend time working on a participation, and instead have to spend that time when you're trying to study, when you need to prepare for a test, when you need to actually know how to do it. That's where that time comes back. So I encourage you to do the participations, do the homeworks as designed. Yes, it's going to take longer, but that's what learning is going to be like, right? You're actually going to learn, actually going to get something out of those. If I think you've committed academic dishonesty, I'll reach out and let you know. The college-approved consequence is you get a 0 on the assignment, and I report it. Then you have to go through a process of basically like going through you take a class that you learn that it's bad to cheat. And if there's issues beyond that, we can escalate and kind of deal with that as we come to it. There are other policies. If you check out the syllabus, there's some other kind of knick-knacky things that aren't super important. That might come up for particular people. These are kind of the broad strokes, can affect most people. There's not really too much else to go. Just want to talk a little bit about some campus resources. Otherwise, we'll get into the chemistry. Don't worry. See you in the next video.